For today's lesson, we're going to look at solving quadratic equations by factoring. So solving quadratics is, again, just taking factoring a step further. So we're actually looking at the quadratic equation a little further, like we did with linear equations. When we solved them, we graphed them. Now we're looking at, okay, we're going to use factoring to help us solve quadratics. All right, so when we solve quadratics, their solutions can be rational or irrational. The most common way to solve quadratics is by factoring them. Quadratics also can be solved using the quadratic formula. And we can also identify the solutions on the graph as well. The most important part of solving quadratics is the way we use the zero product property. All right, so remember the zero product property says if A times B equals 0, then A equals 0 or B equals 0 or both A equals 0 and B equals 0. So it's basically we're going to take those factors. So take factoring a step further by taking those factors and setting them equal to 0 so that we can actually find our solution. So remember the first step anytime we are factoring is to check for a GCF. And then proceed below based on the number of terms. So you could factor using difference of squares, A equals 1, and when A is greater than 1. Okay, so it says solve the following problems by factoring using the steps above. So first we're going to look at 25x squared minus 4 equals 0. So anytime that you have factoring or you're factoring quadratics, you always want to make sure that it's in the form, most importantly, standard form, which will be ax squared plus bx plus c, and it's going to be equal to 0. So when it's not in that form, sometimes you will see where the constant will be on the left, or excuse me, will be on the right. You always want to make sure that it's in this form. All right, you always want to make sure that it is set equal to 0. All right, so going back to that first problem, we have 25x squared minus 4 equals 0. So the first thing we're going to do is factor. We can see that we do not have a GCF between 25 and 4, so we're going to factor using difference of squares. So difference of squares, we're going to take the square root of the first term, which is 25x squared, and then take the square root of the second term, which is 4. So we get 5x plus 4, and we get 5x minus 4, all equals 0. All right? So now we've done this with factoring before. We find our factors. Now with quadratics, we have to take it a step further by setting each factor equal to 0 and solving for x. So we have 5x plus 4 equals 0. We solve, and we have 5x minus 4 equals 0. So we're going to subtract 4 from both sides. We get 5x is equal to negative 4 divided by 5. And we get x is equal to negative 4 over 5. All right. We're here. We're going to add 4 to both sides. We get 5x is equal to 4 divided by 5. Oops. Sorry, that should be 4 divided by 5. And we get x is equal to 4 over 5. All right. So x equals negative 4/5 and negative 4 over 5, excuse me, positive 4 over 5 are our solutions. Okay. All right, looking at the second example, we have x squared minus 2x minus 8. All right, so then we're going to first look for a GCF. We do not have a GCF here, so therefore we are going to factor using our basic trinomial. So again, we're looking for two numbers that when we multiply give us negative 8, that when we add them together give us a negative 2. All right, so thinking of two numbers that when we multiply give us negative 8, that when we add together give us negative 2, we're looking at negative 4 and a positive 2, because when we multiply them we get a negative 8. When we add them together we get a negative 2. All right, so remember when we're factoring a basic trinomial, all we do is we take our factors. We have x minus 4, x plus 2, and it's all going to be set to 0. So again, we find our factors. Now we have to actually find the solutions. So we're going to set each factor equal to 0 and solve for x. So adding 4 to both sides gives me x equals 4. Subtracting 2 from both sides, x gives me negative 2. So my solutions are x equals negative 2 and 4. So here I'm not writing them as points, so I'm just showing here. This is a lot of times the way that you will see it. You'll also see it written as a solution set, so I'll show that in the next example. So I just want to identify that x equals here. I'm not showing points, I'm actually just showing solutions because they're both equal to x. All right, so remember when we talk about the graph, or when we get into the graph of quadratics, they are U-shaped. They're called a parabola. They're the graph that is a U-shape, so they intercept the x-axis a lot of the times in two places. So I'll have two solutions or one solution or no solutions. But a lot of the times when we graph, we will see that the graph will intersect the x-axis at 2 points. Therefore, you will have two solutions, or sometimes you will have one or no solutions. All right, let's take a look at the next example. So we have x squared minus 2x minus 3 equals 0. So again, we're going to look to see if we have a GCF. We do not have a GCF for this example, so we're going to go ahead and factor using trinomials. So we're looking for two numbers that when we multiply them, give us a negative 3, that when we add them together, give us a negative 2. So looking there, that means we're going to have the numbers negative 3 and 1, because when we multiply it, it gives me negative 3. When I add it, it gives me negative 2. So we have x minus 3, x plus 1 equals 0. Again, setting each factor equal to 0 and solving, we get negative 3 equals 0. X plus 1 equals 0. We get x equals 3. X equals 1. So I'm going to show you the solution set. This is another way you will see it with your little curly braces. And that should be negative 1, excuse me. So you will see negative 1, 3. So again, this is not a coordinate point. It's showing a solution set. All right, for the next example, we have 3x squared plus 5x equals 0. So again, the first thing we always look for is a GCF. I can see here that each term has 3 and x in common. So I'm going to pull out a 3 and x and then divide each term by 3x. So I have x plus 5 equals 0. Okay, and this is very important. Pulling out a GCF is also a factor as well. So we definitely have to set that equal to 0 as well. All right, so we have 3x is going to be set equal to 0, and we have x plus 5 that's going to be set equal to 0. We can see here dividing both sides by 3, you get x is equal to 0. And we have x plus 5, so subtracting 5 from both sides, we get x equals negative 5. So our solution set here, again, going to use the curly braces to show a different way of writing it. We have negative 5, 0 for our solution set. All right, so let's take a look at a couple more examples. All right, so now down here is when we're going to be looking more so at the trinomials where a is greater than 1. So looking at the first one, we have 6x squared minus x minus 2 equals 0. So here I can see I do not have a GCF. So I have where a is equal to 6, b is equal to negative 1, and c is equal to negative 2. So remember, I have to multiply my a times my c, which will give me negative 12. And then I have my negative 1 as b. So I'm looking for two numbers that when I multiply them, give me a negative 12. When I add them together, give me a negative 1. Those factors are going to be negative 4 and 3, because they multiply to give me negative 12 and add together to give me 1. Again, with factoring with a greater than 1, we have to plug those in. So over here on the side, I have 6x squared minus 4x plus 3x minus 2. I'm going to factor by grouping. You can also factor using the box method to help you. The GCF of my first expression, I have 2x, which leaves me with 3x minus 2. And then my second expression, the only thing I can pull out is a 1. All right. So here we have my factors are 2x plus 1 and 3x minus 2. Remember, that's all going to be set equal to 0. So we have 2x plus 1 equals 0 and 3x minus 2 equals 0. Subtract 1 from both sides. I get 2x equals negative 1. Divide both sides by 2, and I get x is equal to negative a half. On the next factor, we're going to add 2 to both sides, so we get 3x is equal to 2. Divide both sides by 3, we get 2/3. So we got x is equal to the solution set of negative 1/2 and 2/3. All right. Now let's take a look at the one that's right directly below it. So I have 7x squared minus 49x equals 0. So again, looking for GCF. They both have 7 in common, and they both have an x. So I'm going to pull out 7x, and I have x minus 7 equals 0. So again, setting 7x equal to 0 and x minus 7 equal to 0. Dividing both sides by 7, we just get 0. Adding 7 to both sides, we get x equals 7. So our solutions are x equals 0 and 7, or we could use the solution set of 0, 7. All right. So now it's time to test your understanding of solving quadratics by factoring. So you are going to be solving these two examples, 16x squared minus 49 equals 0, and 2x squared plus 9x minus 5 equals 0. So you're going to follow the same steps of that we did when factoring, but then we're going to take it a step further and set our factors equal to 0.